Right, good afternoon. What I'm going to show you how to do today is how to extract DNA from any vegetable matter just using the household equipment you've got in front of you. So all you need for this is you need water, you need salt, you need washing up liquid, you need some form of vegetable matter, so in this case I've chosen a banana, you need alcohol. Now it does have to be a clear spirit, so gin or vodka, in fact you can do it with things like whiskey, but I really wouldn't because your parents might get quite cross. But you just need some form of very, very strong alcohol, or if you've got any antibacterial or alcohol hand gel, that can work as well. Okay. You then need a funnel or a filter of some kind, beakers and cups just to do the mixing in, and something to mix it with, so I've got a wooden spoon in this case. I'll attach the method at the bottom of the video so you can actually see what it is you need as well. For the filtering, I'm just using a big wet wipe, okay? And that's perfectly fine to use, just a wet wipe folded in half will work perfectly well, but if you've got coffee filters, those work even better, alright? Now, the first step you need to do, and this actually needs to be done a little bit before you begin, is you need to make sure you put the alcohol into the freezer, okay? So that needs to go straight into the freezer and it needs to stay in there. Ideally put it in maybe an hour before you start, okay? So I put one in there earlier, but that will be sitting in the bottom drawer of the freezer getting as icy cold as we can get it. The next step is you just need to mash up your vegetable matter. Now you can use anything organic. Tomatoes, strawberries, bananas, peas. Peas work really well, okay? I recommend vegetables. Probably best to not cut off one of your fingers to try this, but for this case we're just going to use a banana. In the banana, all you need to do then is you just need to add some water. So in this case what I've done is I've just got the banana and I've put a bit of water in there, just enough to about cover it. Okay? And then you get your spoon or your fork or whatever it is you want to do and you just mash it up. Okay? Mash it up as best you can into as fine a pulp as you can. Now the more you mash this up, the better it'll work, okay? The better the experiment will work, and the smaller the pieces, the more DNA you're going to get out of it. Because the first thing we want to do is to make sure that as many of the cells as possible on our banana are exposed. So we'll mash that up as much as we possibly can. Now, what this does is it means that when we add the next ingredient in from our practical, we can actually get to all the cells possible. So if you look at that there, we've got a nice fine mashed up paste of banana and water. Bit disgusting, looks a little bit like baby food. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the salt. Now the salt will change and alter the osmotic gradient between the cells and the liquid. It's a fancy term, scientific term, but all it means is it will make all the cells rupture inside. Okay? If they rupture, it means that we can then get inside the cell and into the nucleus so we can actually get to the DNA. Because don't forget, they're protected. The DNA is protected in the nucleus, which in turn is wrapped in the whole cell. So we'll give that a nice mix in now with all the salt. Don't forget, also inside your cell you've got loads of other things. You've got loads of proteins, you've got loads of other chemicals, and we don't want any of that, we just want the DNA. Okay? So the next thing we're going to add then is washing up liquid. Now what that will do is it will cause all the DNA, all the proteins, and all the other, so just a squirt of washing up liquid, other things to clump together. Alright? Now if they clump together and form bigger lumps, then they won't fit through our filter paper or our J cloth or our wet wipe that we're going to use to sieve it out. Alright? So hopefully when we run it through there, all we're left with is water and some DNA. So give that a really good mix and just keep on mashing it. So we've got water, banana, salt and washing up liquid. There's no exact measurements for this, okay? Just it's what we call bucket chemistry, just a healthy dollop of each one added. Right, now we just need to filter that solution. So you can just put a funnel into a beaker. Make sure you put your cloth inside the funnel. I'm actually going to open that out a little bit, just so you don't get any leaking around the sides. And then we're just going to pour our banana mixture into the funnel. There we go. And we can just leave that then to filter. So while that's filtering, I'll talk you through what the next step's going to be. So as I said, this is in here should just be a nice mixture of water, or salty water, and DNA. Okay, the salt ruptured those cells, splitting them open, and the washing up liquid has just helped collect all the other proteins together, so that we're not looking at proteins, we're just looking at DNA in the sample. Right, so what you'll see here is we've got some of the solution. Now that's still filtering, so what I'm going to do is just put this in here to one side so we can collect the rest of that. But we're going to try and extract and see the DNA from this. Now at the moment, as you can see, that's just a cloudy solution. So what we're going to do is, I'm using a shot glass here. Of course, none of you will know what a shot glass is or what it's for. You're far too young. But if your parents have got one, that works. If not, a narrow glass or a wine glass, something that you can very clearly see through. Okay? You want to pour your solution into that, but only about half full. Okay? You've got to make sure there's enough space on top, because this is where you're going to add the alcohol. So I'm going to get the alcohol that I put in the freezer out now. Now this step you want to do nice and quickly. Okay? You want to get a very small amount of the alcohol. You can actually use the lid to collect this. And then you want to drizzle it as carefully as you can down the side of the shot glass or the glass that you're using, not splashing it in. Nice, slowly and carefully. So it just sits on top of your mixture. Now, I don't know if you can see, you can kind of see two layers have formed there. So you've got a clear layer on top, you've got a cloudy layer on the middle, and then floating in between them, you've almost got a white cloud. It's really hard to see on the camera. You'll see it much more usefully when you do it yourselves. But that white cloud sitting between the two layers, right there, almost looks like a dark line on the video here, okay? That is pure DNA, alright? A nice neat layer of pure DNA just sitting there. In fact, if you're really careful with it and you've got like a fork or some implement with a sharp end to it, if you can use a knife, you're very careful, you can sometimes scoop it out and you get a little bit hanging on the end of a knife. So my challenge for you is to see if you can get a better cloudy layer than I did. And I'd like you to take a photograph of that and submit it for your remote learning for this topic, okay? So you should get a nice cloudy, oops, sorry, I've gone off camera, a nice cloudy layer sitting just there. Right, well, make sure you clean up after yourselves. Your parents will, I'm sure, appreciate that you don't make a massive mess. Well, yes, good luck with it, and I hope you manage to extract some of your own DNA from a vegetable or fruit of your choice.